Om Vang me manasi pratisthita mano me vachi pratishthitam aviravirma edhi vedasyama ani sthaha shrutam me ma prahasihi anena dhitena oratra Samdadhami Ritam Vadishyami Satyam Vadishyami Tanmamavatu Tadvaktaramavatu Avatu Mam Avatu Vaktaram Avatu Vaktaram Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. All right, here we are, finally, all of us. So please, next time, join the meeting, not the webinar. I removed the webinar and put the meeting in because I can see you immediately. Instead of webinar, you come as participants, and then I have to move you to the panel. So it's not very convenient. And today we have a very interesting topic, the Vedic paradigm of knowledge. Let me project it in the light of Sri Aurobindo. Now, what is unique about the Veda is that it is the first synthesis of knowledge, as Sri Aurobindo says, in India. It is that synthesis which will endure through the whole evolution of knowledge in Hinduism. First it will be Brahmanism, then Hinduism, all the forms of Vishnuism, Shaivism, Shaktism, all of them will endure in tantric forms of knowledge. The presentation, the framework will change, but the content will be the same. So we want to start with this viewing the content, which determined the whole Indian civilization. So the approach in the Veda to the knowledge was very different from the post-Vedic. It wasn't philosophical. It was rather psychological and experiential in a way. And as Sri Aurobindo says, Vedic rishis didn't bother to satisfy the necessities or the requirements of the mind to logically justify their own position. They never try to be logical or to be symmetrical, that the mind will be satisfied. Yes, they are speaking about the reality from their own position, from their own point of view. They are invoking higher powers of consciousness to come down and to change our being. And you will notice also that in the Rig Veda there is never mentioning of mukti or moksha. There is no liberation. There is no seeking of salvation. Nobody wants liberation. This is something unique because in the post-Vedic, there is non-stop. The first topic is liberation. It's all about liberation. Now, in the Veda, there is no word of liberation. How come? So how come that the Veda was the beginning of that tradition which speaks about liberation, whereas in the Rig Veda there is no word about it? And there is a reason for it, and the reason is that Vedic rishis are not seeking liberation because they are liberated in a way. They are seeking the manifestation of the divine and transformation of our nature. So they are interested in manifestation rather than in the spirit beyond. Mother says that the Vedic rishis are involutionary beings. She is sure about this. Evolutionary beings like avatars, they come here with a particular mission. Vivekananda, for example, was an evolutionary being who came here with his own purpose, mission, and that was fulfilled. And once it was done, he lost all the interest to stay here and left his body. They bring the higher knowledge for the transformation, for some change for human beings who are evolutionary beings. We are all evolving souls. And rishis, if you can imagine, these are the families of avatars, yes, who bring the higher knowledge here for transformation of our life. So, Vedic paradigm. So the faculties of consciousness in the Veda are known as gods, yeah, and seen as projected from the Divine Mother Aditi, infinite consciousness force. So there is still the Divine Mother there, which in post-Vedic literature somehow disappears for a while and in Tantra reappears again. But over a long period, there is no Divine Mother as the most active, as the most central figure. But in the Veda, all the gods, the great gods, are called Adityas, or her sons, or her faculties. And there are 7 of them, 7 great Adityas. Later there are 12 Adityas. But in the Veda there are 6. First time they are mentioned in the Mandala 2 by Gritsamada, 6 of them. Without Surya, that means Surya is 7th. And later with Surya together, because Surya embodies all of the 6 brothers. Behind the disk of the Surya, there are other disks of other Adityas. And these are Varuna Mitra, Aryaman Bhaga, Daksha, Amsha, and Surya. The order is important. Who is first, who is next? Yeah? Varuna Mitra, Aryaman Bhaga is an important order, and Daksha, Amsha, and Surya. So these are the 7 brothers, or 7 children of Aditi. She had 7 kids, and then she had the 8th one, Vivasvat, or Martanda. His name is Martanda also. Martanda means dead embryo. He was born ugly, not luminous, without limbs. No, dead embryo says for itself. And then he was left alone by Aditi and 7 sons. They left him. And then he turned to be the luminous one, Vivasvat. Vivasvat means the one who shines vast. Lucifer, actually, the fallen angel. In the Rigvedic myths, hymns, it is mentioned that the sun was stolen, taken away by the Asuras, and it was taken, or by the demons rather than Asuras. Asura is a very different term in the Veda. Is taken into the subconscious cave, into the inconscient, into the darkness, was hidden in the darkness. Also, there are hymns which say that Agni is rising up from Vivasvat. How can Agni rise up from Vivasvat if Vivasvat is the Lord of the Sun? So the Lord of the Sun is hidden in the darkness. There are 2 suns. One is shining from above, Surya, Savitri, uninvolved, so to say, divinity, supermind, and involved, Vivasvat. If you can reconcile in your mind between the 2, that's very good already. So we are coming closer to the Vedic vision. 2 suns, which is one and the same sun, actually. Vivasvat represents all 7 suns in involved state, in the state of manifestation. Yeah? Surya represents all the 6 suns, Amsha all the 5, Daksha all the 4, Bhaga all the 3, Aryaman 2, Mitra 1. Varuna represents himself. So according to Sri Aurobindo, and these are Sri Aurobindo's definitions, 4 transcendental godheads, or 4 guardians of light, as he calls them, in the secret of the Veda, are Varuna, who represents the vastness and of infinite being, Sat. From root Vri, to cover, it's all enveloping, all covering sky. Mitra, from root Ma, to measure, the luminosity and harmony of consciousness, Chit. Aryaman, the power of the divine tapas, energy, Chit Shakti, Chit tapas. Bhaga, the bliss of the divine fulfillment, Ananda. These are the words of Sri Aurobindo. And this is quite interesting for us because if you look at the scheme, these 4 are Sat, Chit, Tapas, Ananda in the later language. Yeah? Sat being, Chit, Tapas, consciousness, force, Bhaga, bliss. This order is important. Sat is the first always. The being is the first. Without the being, there is no consciousness, because consciousness has to be conscious of some being, of someone. Otherwise, how consciousness can exist if there is nobody to be conscious of? So Mitra has only one hymn in the Rig Veda. It's quite interesting. Varuna has many, and there are usually Varuna Mitra hymns, Varuna to Mitra and Varuna, or Varuna and Mitra. And Aryaman has no hymns. He is always joining the party of Varuna and Mitra, always together with them. And even if he is not mentioned, he is implied. And it is becoming clear from the commentaries and also from the usage of the language. He is there implied with Varuna and Mitra. There are some hymns to Bhaga separate. And that is quite interesting because Bhaga is the divine delight, which is, according to Shankara and according to Sri Aurobindo also, is the emanation of the conscious being. So when being becomes fully conscious or is fully conscious, it emanates the delight. So the delight is in a way a product of conscious existence, if you think so. So the more conscious we are, the more bliss we have. This is the way to bliss. If we go other way around to bliss, we want the pleasure without being conscious, we fall into the trap of desire. These are kind of obvious things, but still. And then Daksha, Amsha, and Surya. This is what Sri Aurobindo calls the Triple Supermind. He gives them definitions, quite interesting. Daksha represents the power of thought, capital T, all discerning and all distributing power of supramental consciousness. It's that unifying supermind, the highest level of the supermind. Amsha represents the diversity in oneness. Amsha means portion. And portion implies the part and of the whole and separateness from the whole. Both meanings. So Amsha represents the diversity in oneness, supported by unifying power of Daksha. And Surya, or Savitar, Surya Savitri, as Sri Aurobindo calls this Godhead, represents all the seven Adityas and projects them into a lower creation. His rays represent the diversity in the domain of Svar. The domain of Svar is the domain of the ray of the sun, as Sri Aurobindo calls it, the domain of the overmind. Now, there is the whole hymn in the... Say it again. You're muted, or you are hanging. Are you hanging? Oh, yeah. No, only, yes. Only Jayashri is frozen, that's why. Yeah. I'm checking like this. Are we frozen with the hands moving? So when the darkness, there is a hymn, when the darkness meets the supermind, then it pierces it, it pervades it, the body of the sun. And this pervasion of the body of the sun creates the realm of the rays of the sun. The rays are nothing but extension of the body of the sun into the darkness, as it were. It's quite a good image to understand the overmind, the realm of the rays of the sun. So these are the triple supermind, which Sri Aurobindo describes as unity, the first, the highest level, many in one and one in many, the middle level of the supermind, and the many within the supermind, aware of its oneness, but still the predominant sense is in the separate formation of itself. So here we are, these seven Adityas, seven sons of faculties of Aditi, the Divine Mother, Varuna, Sat, being, divine being, Mitra Chit, the divine consciousness, Aryaman Tapas, the divine Shakti, energy, Bhaga Ananda, Daksha, Amsha and Surya is a triple supermind, supramental knowledge force, supramental many in one, and supramental manifestation, manifestation, so many. They're back. Robin is back. Hi, Robin. And we lost Jayashri. She got frozen for some moment. When she started to ask some questions, she just got frozen. Maybe she will come back. So this is quite clear, is it not? Yeah. It's something we all know. But notice that this triple supermind hangs here. So we are dealing with a higher reality. We are dealing with supermind, triple, and these four, where these two Mitra and Aryaman Chit Tapas, in later language will be only Sat Chit Ananda. And Chit will imply that Tapas is there. Yeah? So Tapas will be hiding within the Chit. So the triple Sat Chit Ananda will be projected into the triple Daksha, Amsha, and Surya, or supramental oneness, supramental many in one, and supramental many. So these three levels of the supermind, these three, unity, many in one, and one in many, and many, are nothing but projection of the Sat, being, consciousness which perceives the being or the aspects of the being. Yeah? Notice, interestingly. And once it perceives the aspects of the being, they are known as many. Those aspects are the delight of the perception of the aspect of the being. So this is projected into the supermind. Supermind is forming the manifestation of the world in these three terms of oneness, diversity, and in between diversifying the diversity from oneness. It's important for us because we will see how all is being projected. So if we look at the next slide, we will see that Aditi has a sister, twin sister, Diti. Aditi means infinite consciousness, bliss. Diti, the dividing consciousness in darkness, her twin sister. And through Vivasvat, who was stolen, the involved son, all these 7 brothers, whom Vivasvat represents as the 8th one, will be manifested here in their opposites. So the divine being will turn into the matter. Mitra and Aryaman will turn into life, and life consists of 2 elements, of knowledge and power. And this knowledge and power are always mismatched in life. It's quite amazing. And Bhaga will be projected into the mind in the Vedic literature. But Sri Aurobindo changed a bit this, and he says that Bhaga Anandamaya is the spark of our psychic being, the projection of our soul through the supermind. And supermind itself is the projection of the mind, first overmind, triple overmind. That means we will come to the overmind in a minute. Here it is. I will show you how it looks. Or maybe I will show you later about this. So just trust me on this. We will come to it because can't say everything at once. So here it's quite amazing that this triple supermind is projected into the triple overmind, supramental overmind, and intuition. This is the triple overmind, more unifying, more diversifying and diverse. The intuition is the lightning flashing down every time in the moment of time. And this is the overmental, which is creating the triple mind. This is illumined mind, higher mind, and the mind proper, the triple heaven in the Veda. So this is all about the mind. These are all the fundamentals of our existence. Yeah? The material, vital, and mental consciousness. And we will see it, how it is being here represented. So I'm moving forward. Surya Savitri, the Lord of creation, that Surya, which becomes Vivasvat, stolen and put into the subconscious cave. The rays of the sun thus build up the luminous planes called in the Vedas Svar. This is in Sri Aurobindo's terminology overmind. And has 3 luminous realms, 3 Rochana, 3 Rochana. Rochana is luminous realm, which thus project the higher 3 realms of the cosmic mind called Tisro Dyavach, 3 heavens. And sustaining the 3 spaces of the vital realm called Trini Rajansi or Tri Rajansi, 3 flaming realms, domains, supported by 3 foundations of the physical called Tisro Bhumich, 3 earths. So this is an amazing 3, 3, 3, 3, 12. 4 times 3. What is interesting here, that Trirochana, 3 luminous realms, Tisro Dyavach, from Rudiv to shine, 3 shining heavens, and Trini Rajansi, 3 flaming domains. So everywhere you have light, but different words for light. Yeah? Here Ruch to shine, here Div to shine, here Raj to shine. From here, Rajas, Rajas Guna, and Raja, king. So this is the Vedic kind of archetypal spirituality or spiritual architecture. If we look at this, and this is the most important presentation today, the triple world. We have mental, vital, and physical world on this side, which consists of three minds, three vitals, vital realms, and three physical levels of consciousness. And beyond them, we have three rochanas, three luminous realms of the overmind. And beyond them, we have triple supermind. If we understand this slide, we understand everything about the architecture of the Vedic knowledge. It's all here in one place. Yeah, we can I don't spell here out Trirochanas, but here they are in Sri Aurobindo's terminology. Trirochanas are supramental over mind proper, and intuition or intuitive mind. And Tisrodhyavach, three heavens of the mind, cosmic mind, illumined mind, higher mind, and mind proper. And just for you to know what we are talking about. So this is the three heavens of the mind. In the terms of the mother brought different terminology from occultism, from Semitic tradition, from Jewish tradition. And this is mental mind, vital mind, physical mind. You'll notice it's all mind related. Then we have vital, mental, vital, physical, vital. So this is the head, this is the torso, and these are the legs, so to say. Mental, physical, vital, physical, and physical. We are even constituted in the same way in the body. If we compare it to the chakras, which can help us to understand these levels in the embodied state, we could see that the mental mind, there is the whole canto which is called In the Self of Mind, the Self of Mind in the second book. There Sri Aurobindo describes the illumined mind and how this illumined mind is receiving the influence from above, from the intuition. So the mental mind is the Sahasrara chakra, yes, above the head. It's the highest, it is the ceiling of our existence. It's the top. We cannot go higher than this. Yeah? And then the vital mind is the Ajna chakra, the third eye, the will chakra, chakra of will, of vitality, of life, of the mind. And physical mind is the mind of Vishuddha chakra, the throat chakra, which expresses thoughts in words, concepts, manifests them. It's quite logical, yes, if you look at this. And then we look at the torso, the same. There will be mental vital, and that is Anahata chakra, chakra of our emotions. Emotions are actually feelings or impulses which are conceptualized or made aesthetically pleasing, as it were. So they are more formed by the mind. So mental vital, is that level of the heart. Vital is the navel chakra or Manipura chakra of all the impulsions, which we have, feelings, these impulses of jealousy, fear, pride, all these powerful impulses which are kind of disturbing our life, as it were. And then there is physical vital, or the Swadhishtana Chakra. It's in between navel and sexual center, known in the Chinese tradition as Dantian, the egg, into which all the nadis flow, 72,000 nadis, streams flow and are united in that center. It is this sensation in the body, the electricity of which is closest to the physical, which manages and forms the physical. So we have emotions, feelings, and sensations. Three, this is our torso, as it were. And our legs, starting with the sexual center on the top, mental, physical, or Muladhara chakra, from where Kundalini Shakti is rising and opening all the chakras. Below Kundalini, below Muladhara, Mother says there are two more chakras, which are not well known even in Tantra, because nobody goes down there into those realms. Everybody starts with Muladhara, with Kundalini, but nobody goes to the level of the knees, that is vital, physical, and below the feet, physical, proper physical. Feet, sometimes we have burning feet. Do you have burning feet? No? Okay, you're lucky.
Tingling feet.
Tingling, yeah. And knees, we have always problems with knees, especially in the old age.
Yes, that's the vital physical.
Vital physical, yes, is already giving up on our physical. Our physical is kind of going away from the vitality, and slowly we start bending our knees with pain.
Also, if there is any injury in the knee, it takes a very long time to heal, they say. Like
Right.
if you fracture your knee or you hurt it in yoga asana, it takes very long to heal the knee.
Yeah, yeah.
Why is that so?
Well, it's very complex and very, how to say, loaded by the function, yeah, because
Mm,
it has to hold the body, hold the
yes,
weight of the body, and not only hold, but always bend. It's, it's incredible. It's the most difficult construction or complex construction, I guess.
mm.
Mm. And also feet. Feet also, I guess, would be of similar kind.
I
Difficult.
also read somewhere, Vladimir, that the knees are where we hold the fear in the body,
Really?
in the knees. I don't know. I read it in a yoga book long ago. The fear
Right.
is held in the knees. That's why, the knees tremble when we are fearful, they say.
Okay. Nice. Yeah, maybe something is
So, Lata,
psychologically interesting. Yeah?
even in the feet, they say they have chakras. That's why this is in reflexology.
Right. It means the points, yes.
Yeah.
Yes. The entire body is mapped out in the soles of the feet, they say.
So then,
Right. And
why,
on the palms also.
so why don't we go down to the feet and know about what it holds?
Right. And with the feet in Indian tradition, there is a lot. Yeah. Lotus feet. Mother says that somebody was very sick, you remember, in the ashram, and had cancer, and he asked the mother to stand on him with
Yes.
her feet.
Yes.
And she says he was very clever. He knew in the occult sense. The feet are somehow is the projection of that higher force embodied in the guru, which goes through the feet to the manifestation. So they are kind of opened doors to this force. Huh? So if that's why the steps or the chapels are worshipped and so on, and feet are worshipped, because this is the proper entry for this force for the disciple.
There is a story in the Ramayana that when the youngest brother became the king and Rama was exiled, then he goes to Sri Rama and he takes his slippers
Right.
and he brings them and places them on the throne. And for
Right.
14 years, he worships the slippers on the throne as Sri Ram's presence on the throne.
Right, absolutely. And he carries them on his head.
On his head,
And
yes.
this is also a very important kind of all this ritual. And because he did so, Bharata did so,
Yes, Bharat.
the whole nation, the whole kingdom was feeling safe and just.
Yes, protected.
Yeah, it's amazing. Yeah. And he told him, if you don't come, if you will be one day late, I will enter into the fire. So
Yes,
you remember that.
yes, yes. He said that.
And moreover, he built this small hut, the same as in the forest,
And
and,
lived there.
and lived there. He didn't
Yes,
live in the palace.
no, he
He
didn't.
lived like Rama,
Yes,
yeah, waiting for him for 14 years. The
yes,
king of the kingdom.
yes.
This is something we don't have anymore, yes, in this world.
This is the
Right. So here we are with all this 9 levels, 9 rays. In the Rig Veda, they speak about the rishis of 9 rays, Navagva rishis. In these 9 rays, Sri Aurobindo says these are the levels of consciousness or 9 months of the year. Interesting that it can be compared to the levels of consciousness or to the time frame. And I think it is both. And if we think of it, it's amazing because 9 months the embryo is being developed in the womb and then the child is born. So it takes 9 months to build totally the being. And this is our total build up, you know, from the bottom up to the top. So this is where we are. So Navagva rishis, they want to grow into the supermind. So they invoke Indra through Ayasya Rishi. It's a well-known myth. And he brings the 10th level. And that from Navagva, they become Dashagva rishis, rishis of 10 rays. So they break to the intuition. So they add one more level. Yeah? So they don't speak about 12 chakras, they speak about 10 levels, 10 rays, because 10th is already opening you to the Swara world. Yeah? The mother speaks about 12 chakras. She speaks, and these are the 12, 9 of these and 3 of the overmind. 3 above the head, above Sahasrara, there are 3 more chakras before the supermind. This is our being. Not only these 9, which we are forming in the womb, but we add these 3 over mental. These 3 over mental are connecting our being with the supermind. This is the intermediary 3 levels which are connecting to the supermind. And notice interesting interesting thing that supermind is triple: unity, diversity, one in many, many in one, and many are repeated throughout. Yeah, mental is more unifying, vital diversifying, and physical is the most diversified, yeah? Unique. In the physical world, there are no same things ever. You will not find the same thing because the same substance cannot occupy the same space. Yeah? Once substance occupies the space, it is unique. Because the another space is, even if it is very similar substance, it's totally different being. Yeah? Its time and space makes it unique. So there are no same pebbles on the shore. There are no same leaves in the forest. You will never find the same leaf, the same stone, the same pebble, the same fingerprint. There is no same fingerprint. There are billions of people and no same fingerprint. This is the physical diversity. This is the infinity incarnate, yeah? In time and space. That infinity, that Varuna, infinite being, yeah? Incarnate here in the physical form. But to be so, we need the intermediary diversifying, and that is the vital. The vital level is doing this diversification. And the mental is unifying. So, and you can see that this unifying, diversifying, and diverse level are on each of these. Mental mind is more unifying, vital mind diversifying, physical mind finally expressing it in time and space. Now, mental vital is more unifying emotions, yeah, of love and this and that. Vital is more impulsive, diversifying those emotions, and physical, the sensations in particular form in the physical are more diversified. The same with physical. Mental, physical, the mind of the cells is more unifying. Yeah? It has a particular function in the cell or in the organ. That function is mental function. Yeah? As a concept of what it has to do, why it exists. Vital brings that diversification of the vital force, of the living force, and physical is totally unique. Now, why this scheme is so important for me and for all of us is because it shows us that physical is not something separate from the mental and vital. You see physical mind, you see physical vital, you see that mental, physical, vital, it's interwoven, yeah, into the tapestry of the mental. Without the physical, mental would not come into existence. And all of them are nothing but projection of this triple supermind. Yeah? There they are forged in this many, this concept of many here, the power of many is finally manifested in physical here. In its triplicity, because this triplicity of the supermind is maintained throughout. It's amazing. I think this scheme can satisfy anybody's interest in philosophy. Not much more to know after this. Really. I mean, from the philosophical point of view, from the point of view of the apprehensive knowledge, yeah? And also comprehensive. We understand why we are what we are, why the head is on the top, torso in the middle, legs below, how it is being formed. There is the whole vision, there is a whole power behind of consciousness, which forms this world in this particular way. Heaven is above, earth is below, we are in between. We understand the whole architecture of things.
And there's this beautiful unity behind it all, holding it together. You know,
Right.
that's so beautiful. But everything is just held together in space and time.
Yeah, absolutely. Even supermind is
Yeah.
nothing but a reflection of the Sat, Chit Tapas. This is Chit Tapas, and Ananda as an emanation of conscious existence. Yeah. So you can see that everything is inbuilt in everything. There's nothing separate from as we see it. Yeah.
So this physical body is, it's like it's holding the whole universe.
Yeah.
And therefore there's so much potential in us.
Yeah. And only with the physical body they change, the proper change, supramental change, as it were, the real change of consciousness is possible. The growth of consciousness is possible because of the physicality. The moment physical is removed, we suppose we die, yeah, and physical goes, then physical vital also disengages. In the occultism, these three fall out, and this fourth falls out. Physical vital. And this physical vital is the link to the vital body. Yeah? That is what is cutting the navel, or that subtle connection navel. Yeah? It's kind of interesting because navel is connecting our vital body to the physical body, and navel is also connecting us in the womb to the mother. As the growing this, we are fed through the navel in the mother's womb, and then we have this subtle connection in the navel, in this vital. This is our connection, where antariksha is the crack between the worlds. Is that once this is disengaged, the physical vital falls off. And that means we do not have connection with the physical anymore directly. It is still potentially in the physical mind there, and it can come into play in the subtle form, but no more in the physical form. I'm speaking now from the occultist point of view, how they view death.
Yeah.
Death is disengagement of these four levels below.
So I have a question here, Vladimir. It is to do with Savitri. In Savitri, when she is following death and Satyavan, a point comes where she feels that her body is heavy, and then Sri Aurobindo describes how she gets rid of her mortal body. So, what exactly is the process? Does she cut that umbilical cord? Because if she did, then she wouldn't be able to come back to the body, which she does at the end. So, how is it that she disengaged and was able to follow him?
Exteriorize. Mother could exteriorize 12 times. She speaks about this with Alma, if you remember from Algerian stories. She says that Alma had a power, it's in agenda, had a power to exteriorize 12 times, to go up to the supermind and back. So you have to leave the body and then leave the level. You leave the level. Basically, we call these bodies or levels of the body. We can call 12 bodies or 12 levels of consciousness. Yeah? So you have to leave these in order to go here into the vital. If you want to go to the higher mind levels, you have to leave these, as it were. There will be vital there, vital mind. Yeah? So you will go there. But if you want to go to the svar, you will have to step out of the mental mind and go into intuition proper, which is very rare that somebody may even go there, because we never leave this. This is our major
Yeah,
construction. Yeah. So
yeah.
if we leave all of these, then we are nearly out. Yeah?
So that's what
So
happened with Savitri, isn't it? She left that body completely in
could
order to
be.
travel into those realms.
Yeah, but exteriorizing. Mother describes the difference between exteriorizing and dying.
Okay.
And it was, she experienced this actually, and that's because of that she knows the difference. Yes, you remember the story with cutting the navel?
No,
No, it is in the agenda when
Yes.
you see somebody left the mantra of life and death to the Mother Mira from the times of the Vedic rishis in the occult world. And Max Theon found that place and found that it is Mother Mira, and he was searching for her. And he started his review, Cosmic Review or something it was called, and was publishing in Europe, searching, waiting for the mother. He knew that the mother is somewhere embodied on earth. He was an occultist, yeah, in Algeria with his wife Alma. And he found the mother. Mother found the journal, read the article, and went to meet him in Algeria. And this was an amazing meeting. When she entered, she says, he immediately told her, now you are in my power, because he built such a powerful compound there. And she says, I have the divine here, and showed to the heart that there is no power over me. And he became scared, she says. In his eyes, she could see the fear that she was. But he directed her, he invited her for that particular reason to go to that subtle world and to get the mantra of life and death. It had the power to make everybody alive and dead. It's a very powerful mantra. So Mother went there. He was below and she exteriorized and went into that subtle world. She was in trance in the physical body on earth, and he was standing next to her. And then she discovered the mantra for Mother Mira, and she could take it. Only she could take it because it was for her addressed. And she took it, and then she understood everything. Why he invited her, how he found her, why that he wants this mantra badly. She understood who he was actually. He was the Vibhuti of Asura of death actually. Though his wife thought, Alma, that he was the avatar actually. He called himself Max Theon, great god. Max Theon, such a name. It's about humility, yes? No humility needed. Max Theon simply. So this great god, Mahadeva, when he heard from her from that she is not willing to pass to him mantra, he cut her navel. He cut her, he killed her, the mother. And she said she felt like heaven became earth and earth became heaven. It turned upside down. And she knew that she is dead. She cannot come back to the body. But she says he became so scared after that, what he did, that he started to repair from his side, and she started to repair the cut from her side. And they reconnected the navel cut in the subtle world. And she says, if it would not be him and it would not be her, this would not be possible to do for anyone. It's only these two great beings could do such operation of recovery of the mother from the dead by reconnecting the navel. She doesn't say how they did it. Most probably this is the secret. Because many people would want to bring people from the dead back to the body. Then she didn't give him this mantra. She brought this mantra to Sri Aurobindo, by the way. And Sri Aurobindo put it into, as Mother says, into oblivion. He said, it's not our way. Our way is the evolution of consciousness, not the miracle of mantra. And this is great God, without the name of great God, did this. He never used the mantra. It is somewhere there in the subtle world still. unpacked.
Thank you. Very interesting.
Yeah. So most probably when you say that she followed, that means exteriorizing. That means you can, with connection to the physical, go into any world and come back. And Sri Aurobindo speaks about the supermind that in the Upanishads, in Chandogya especially, they speak about the sun as a supermind, as a gate to the beyond, because our sun is the gate to the beyond, to the transcendental world. So if we want to go to the beyond, beyond the universe, we have to enter through the sun. It's our gateway, it seems. It's quite close to us. You don't need to fly far away to the end of the world. Just enter through the sun. And he says, once you enter through the sun, there is no return, as it is said in Chandogya. So one loses the capacity to return. So one burns away this triple three body, as it were, if one enters through, goes through the sun. But later he changed. He says one can reach the supermind and come back. And this is something Sri Aurobindo, and by the way, Ramakrishna also spoke about these souls, as Ishvara Koti souls, who can reach to the highest transcendental and come back with a mission to change the world. This mission of changing the world with the highest realization is what Vedic rishis represent. That's why they don't seek mukti. That's why mukti is never mentioned, because they are muktas. But they seek the divine manifestation here. Okay, that is, I think, quite a mouthful. If you have any burning questions or remarks, please go ahead. I will stop here, I think.
Vladimir, you'll send this to us, no?
Yes, I will, definitely.
Thank you. Thank you.
But it makes sense. Does it make sense to you as integral yoga followers? Yeah? It should make sense. Yeah? All these elements.
Very, very deep sense beyond the mind. It makes sense.
Including mind, including vital, and including physical. Yes, we want everything to be in place, in the right place.
When you listen to this, when you speak, it just feels that the consciousness is expanding and expanding.
I am very glad to hear this.
Thank you so much.
Very glad. Thank you.
Vladimir, excuse me. Vladimir,
Yeah.
is there a parallel between these 9 different levels and the planets in our solar system?
Yeah, if you find the correspondence, please give. It would be interesting to see Rahu and Ketu somewhere below in the physical or something. I have no idea, really. Could be. Could.
I was just thinking, the design of our physical body, the design of the solar system, and the other worlds, there should be some consistency between them, I would think.
You know it could be, because we have to look into the commentaries on Jyotisha of the later time. I'm sure they are identifying chakras with a particular functionality. Yeah. Could be. Could be.
Excuse me.
Yeah, they have the Navagrahas.
Navagrahas, yes.
Yeah.
And this is Navagva rishis. So there must be something 3 times 3. By the way, 3 times 3 is not the final composition. Sri Aurobindo says it's just a symbolic, the easiest way to explain the world. This is the finger pointing to the truth, yes? It helps us to understand how we are constituted, but it is not the constitution. Yeah? We should understand. It's not the substance. It's just the knowledge which helps us to to become aware of what we are. But he says the real, more elaborate system would be 7 times 7, which is not 3 times 3 here, but 7 times 7. But our mind becomes totally blurred. We can't really follow it very easily. I tried to build this 7 times 7 system. It is amazing because what is 7 here? This is 1, 2, 3, mental, vital, physical. These are 3. Yeah? And then you have the yes, it is not this. It is I'm
The 7 worlds, the 3 higher, the middle world, and then the 3 lower worlds. Those are the 7.
yes, this is the 7, our 7, which
Yes.
is projected into the lower 7, so to say. And this 7 times 7, in each of these, there are 7 worlds. Yeah? It is kind of mind-blowing if you think of. And that makes the lower hemisphere 49, 7 times 7, and the higher hemisphere 49, and 1 uniting here, 50, and 1 uniting here, 50, and 50 plus 50, according to Sri Aurobindo, is 100, is the totality, the number of totality. The occultism, the Vedic occultism. So we are speaking in terms of 3 times 3, just to easy, to make it easier for ourselves. Okay, great. I will close on this with mantra, and we will meet next time. Om Sarve Bhavantu Sukhinaha Sarve Santu Niramaya Sarve Bhadrani Pashyantu Ma Kaschit Dukha Bhag Bhavet. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Hari Om.
Hari Om.